And so really it's like imagine if I make money from horses and I run a horse barn, and the more horses that the more work the horses do, the more money I make. Well, maybe one way to measure whether or not I'm going to make money this year is how do my horses feel? Do they feel like working hard? Or they feel like being lazy? Are they healthy or are they sick? Right? Are the horses in a good mood or a bad mood? Are they breeding properly so I can have more horses to work for me? Right? That's literally that's why they measure consumer sentiment. They say, okay, the consumers are the horses. I might you might have heard me explain this before. For those that are new, I'll explain it again. What you got to know about capitalism, man, is that capitalism is a horse and jockey system. It is a horse and jockey system. Why do I say that? Well, I grew up not far from this place where they hosted this big horse race every year called the Kentucky Derby. And as a kid, we never went to the Derby. Going to the Derby was for rich white people who wanted to go in the infield and use drugs and stuff. I never understood why all those celebrities would come to town for the Derby. The Derby was just, it's like, it's stupid. It's a bunch of horses running around in a circle. But I knew that when the Derby came around, my dad would get extra work. He would work as a security guard and we'd get out of school and we would also have like a family barbecue. We'd all like throw $2 in a pot and we'd all bet on which horse we think is going to win, that kind of thing, right? So anyway, with that said, in the Kentucky Derby, I don't know if anybody's ever watched the Kentucky Derby, but what happens in the Kentucky Derby? Well, you got the horses and you got the jockeys, right? And the jockeys get on their horses and they whip them and they ride them around, and then whoever wins the race gets all this glory for winning the Kentucky Derby. Well, I've never seen the Kentucky Derby where the horse won the race and the horse got the rewards for winning the race. The horse doesn't get the rewards. The horse just is the labor that allows the jockey to get the glory. Do you understand? The jockey is the one who hoists up the trophy. The jockey gets the money. The owner of the horse is the person that is able to benefit financially from the wins. The jockey, the owner, or the owner gets the money and maybe breaks off something for the jockey. Don't nobody break nothing off of the horse. The horse gets like some hay or something to make sure that he can keep on working, right? You give him just enough to make sure he can continue to do his job. So here's what I'm going with this, okay? Capitalism is a horse and jockey system because if you are trained as a child, like most black people are, to simply be the employee of somebody else, then basically you're trained to be somebody's horse. You are their workhorse. And they're not going to give you enough to get rich, right? Give me a yes or no if you agree with this. Most jobs don't give you enough money to get rich, do they?